Hello friends, welcome to GCA. I hope you all are doing good and preparing for your upcoming interview. So today's video is regarding India-US relations, and this is my fourth video in the relation series, and before that I have made 3 videos, and if you have not watched those videos then you can click on the I button, the link is available. So this video India-US relations is very important because this topic is asked in lecturate also, in GDs also, and various questions are also asked in personal interview. And we all are aware that the kind of relations which we have with the US in the recent years, so thereby knowing about relations between this country is very important. So I'm going to cover this video from the SSB point of view. Like, I will not cover the points which are not relevant, as most of the UPSC candidates, they tends to go much in detail, but I will cover only the points in brief so that you can deliver the lecturate within the 3 minutes. So again, without wasting any time, let us start. So in the recent times, the relations between India and US are at the extreme level, and day by day both the countries are making much efforts to cement it further. India is emerging as a strategic partner for US to contain China in the subcontinent, whereas US is supporting India at the major international forums. Now, the relations between both the countries were not always good. Now, let us see the historical relations between both the countries. So, talking about the historical relations, the relations between both the countries was a part of ups and downs. Like during the Cold War era, as we all are aware that there were two major power blocks. The first was the US-led NATO alliance, and second was the USSR, that is the Soviet Union. Although India decided to remain non-aligned, but we were more closer to the USSR. So thereby we were on the different end as compared to the US. So after the independence during the 1950s, India was dependent upon major powers like America and Soviet Union for basically for the financial assistance. So thereby America's assistance surpassed the Russia's assistance in the development of the country. Now, like in the recent times, US see India as a strategic partner. So similar was the efforts in the 1960. US saw India as a strategic partner to contain China. So thereby US openly supported India during the 1962 war of Indochina, and it criticized China's action against India. But it was during the Kennedy administration. Then after the assassination of Kennedy during the in 1963, the relations between both the countries deteriorated, basically during the Nixon's administration. So as India was moving more closer to Russia, so because that was the reason for the deterioration of ties between India and US. So thereby US started improving their relations with Pakistan, and it supported Pakistan in the Indo-Pakistan War of 1965. Like we all are aware that it provided defense hardware to Pakistan, and it provided the world-class advanced level pattern tanks to fight against India. Then similarly in 1971 war also, US supported Pakistan. US deployed their warships in the Bay of Bengal to attack India. Similarly in 1974, when India conducted its first nuclear test, the US criticized India's action, and even it asked for economic sanctions on India by cutting the supply of nuclear material to India. But in 1980, the relations between both the countries improved to basically contain the Soviet Union. So thereby US started supplying defense hardware to India to improve ties. But in 1991, after the disintegration of USSR, the relations between both the countries again deteriorated because in 1998, India conducted the Pokhran test. So that was the basic reason for the deterioration of ties. And after the Pokhran test, US imposed economic sanctions on India and thereby cut the supply of other materials to India. Although the economic sanctions did not affected India much, because at that time we had very limited economic trade with the US. Then in 2001, when the attack on US World Trade Center took place, that is the 9/11 attack, so it was the only time when US realized that there is need to improve relations with India. So thereby US started building ties with India. For example, both the countries, they found that they have similarities, like both the countries are facing similar interest. For example, the spread of Islamic terrorism, then the climate change. So these were the times when the relations between both the countries started improving, and the trade between both the countries blossomed, and the bilateral trade was almost tripled. So in 2008, the historic landmark agreement was signed between India and US, which was the India-US Civil Nuclear Deal, which is also known as the 123 agreement. Now talking about the major areas of cooperation between both the countries. So in the recent times, the relations between both the countries stand on 3 main pillars. The first is the defense cooperation, second is the energy security, and third is the long-term strategic alliance. Now let us discuss each point in detail to get more idea about the relations between both the countries. So talking about defense cooperation first. So this is the major area of cooperation between both the countries which has blossomed the relationship between both the countries. Now, as we all are aware that Russia happens to be the biggest supplier of defense equipments to India in the last many decades, and even today 70% of the equipment in Indian inventory are from the Russian origin. But in last one decade the dynamics has totally changed because US has completely surpassed Russia as a major supplier of defense equipments to India. And in 2014 alone, India imported around 5.9 billion of defense equipments, and it becomes the world's single largest importer of defense equipments to India. Like from last many years, we have signed a lot of deals with the US. For example, the major equipments, like we have recently acquired M777 ultra lightweight howitzer guns for the Indian artillery. Then we have acquired Chinook helicopters, which are the heavy lift helicopters, so which can be beneficial for even transporting the major equipments like the M777 howitzer. Similarly, we have procured Javelin anti-tank guided missile from US. Then the other equipments like C-130J transport aircraft for the Indian Armed Forces. Then we have signed a deal for RQ-1 UAVs, and recently we have also signed a deal with procuring the US Guardian deals. Now, along with it, various defense agreements have been signed between both the countries. Like in 2002, India signed General Security of Military Information Agreement between both the countries. So thereby in 2016, both the countries signed a LEMOA, which is the Logistic Exchange of Memorandum and Understanding. So under LEMOA is the landmark agreement which is signed because according to the LEMOA, both the militaries, they can use each other bases for basically the logistic support, for example, for refueling and replenishment. Although both the militaries cannot use each other bases for attacking any other country, but it is only for the logistic support. Then the most recently, that was in the 2018 when the India and US held 2+2 meeting. So the landmark agreement was signed, that was the COMCASA, which stands for Communication Compatibility and Security Agreement. So this is a very important agreement that US has signed with India. So this is the agreement which US has signed with only limited countries, because according to this agreement, the US military equipment, basically the communication equipment, they will be transferred to the Indian defense land, that is mostly the sensitive areas of the Indian Armed Forces. For example, the US communication centers are installed in the major sensitive military bases of India. Like if there is a Chinese submarine who is docking near the Indian Ocean, so from that US communication, we are going to get direct information directly to the naval headquarters, and we can contain China's action in the Indian Ocean. So thereby, this is a landmark agreement between both the countries. And in 2018, US enacted a new law, which is CAATSA, which stands for Countering America's Adversary Act Through Sanctions. So which basically means that any country that is engaging in trade with the countries like Iran, Russia and North Korea will come under sanctions of US. But India, because of good relations with the US, they got waivers from the CAATSA Act from procuring oil from Iran for the 6 months. And even without caring for the CAATSA sanctions, India directly signed a deal with Russia for purchasing the S-400 missile defense system without considering the sanctions. So this clearly reflects the kind of strong relations which we have. And over the years, we have been engaging in joint exercises. For example, for the army, we have Yuddha Abhyas. For the air force, we have Red Flag exercise. Then we have held the Vajra Prahar exercise. And along with this, we have also a trilateral naval exercise, which is called as Malabar exercise between India, US and Japanese Navy. And both the countries are part of informal group, which is called as the Quadrilateral Dialogue, the Quad, which is basically designed to maintain peace in the Indo-Pacific region by having freedom of navigation. And the Quad consists of 4 countries, that is India, US, Japan and Australia. So if you want a detailed video on COMCASA, CAATSA and various such defense agreements, I have already made a video. The link is available in the I button. You can click on the link for watching detailed video on these agreements. Now to further cement the military cooperation between both the countries, more defense deals have been signed between both the countries. Like recently, President Trump visited India in the month of February, called for the event called as Namaste Trump, where both the countries inked several deals. For example, India signed a deal for purchasing Apache attack helicopters. Similarly, we have signed a deal for procuring 24 MH-60 Romeo helicopters for the Indian Navy, and also an agreement have been signed between both the countries for basically for procuring Guardian drones to India. So thereby it is very clear from the recent deals that is in the modernization plan of our armed forces, because we at time we are facing the threat of two front war and we are modernizing our army. So thereby US is emerging as a strong partner to modernize our army by supplying the defense hardware to India. So talking about other areas of cooperation, And in geopolitical arena also, both the countries share very strong relations. Like India and US are part of major international forums like United Nations, G20, and even US is making efforts for India's entry into the G7 group. And from past many years, US is supporting India's entry for the United Nations Security Council permanent membership, and along with it, it is also supporting India's entry into the nuclear supplier group, missile control, technology control regime, and even into Wassenaar arrangement and Australia group. And last year, we all are aware that PM Modi was attended a mega event in US, which is called as the Modi event, and where PM Modi received, the Guard of Honor, and later he interacted with the Indian community, the Indian diaspora that is working in the America and which are effectively contributing to the America's economy. And thereafter, PM Modi traveled to Texas, where he signed various agreement between India and US, basically in the field of energy security for further boosting up trades. And from last many years, US has supported India in the major issues. For example, it has always supported India against the actions taken by China and Pakistan. Like even like last year after the Pulwama attack, US condemned the Pulwama attack, and it helped India in isolating Pakistan. Thereby, it also provided support to Pakistan, and even US played a major role in getting our wing commander Abhinandan back from Pakistan. So similarly, US is also playing a major role recently in India's standoff with China. So thereby, in terms of geopolitical, we can say the relationship between both the countries are at another level. Now talking about economic cooperation, which is another important area. So US is the India's second largest trading partner, and India is the US ninth largest trading partner. And the major items imported by US from India include IT services, textiles, machinery items, diamonds, tea, coffee, and iron and steel products. And the major items imported by India include aircraft, fertilizers, computer hardware, and medical equipment. So presently, the India-US trade is standing at $142 billion, which is as of 2018, and the trade is mainly in India's favor. That is, India have trade surplus with US, and on the other side, US have 23 billion trade deficit with India. Now, this trade deficit with India is also the bone of contention between both the countries, because the Donald Trump policy, that is the America First policy, so he wanted to do everything for the American people first, then later for any other foreign country. So thereby, in order to balance the trade between both the countries, US has requested India to import more products from US to basically balance the trade, so that both the countries can enjoy each other and it can favor the American people. Now there is a huge trade potential between both the countries, and thereby both the countries, they have set a target of taking the bilateral trade to around $5 billion in the next 10 years. And also US view India as the largest consumer base for the American goods, because 1/6 person on the planet is the Indian. So thereby more consumption by the Indian is boosting the manufacturing sector of the US, and thereby it is creating more like there is a more demand. So thereby it is leading to the more employment for the US people. And over the years, Indians are making effective contribution to the US economy. Like around 60% of the skilled professionals in USA are from Indian origin, and they are mainly employed in the IT sector, and they are contributing their economy widely. Similarly, Indian students enrolled to US every year in the colleges and universities, they contribute 7 billion to the US economy. And in terms of energy security also, both the countries are cooperating with each other. For example, recently under the US pressure, India has stopped purchasing oil from Iran and Venezuela. So Iran happens to be the third largest supplier of oil to India, and Venezuela was the fifth largest supplier of oil to India. So because of the CARSA Act, although initially India got 6 months of sanctions, the waivers for purchasing oil from Iran, but after the completion of 6 months, we have now completely stopped purchasing oil from these two countries. So thereby, in order to meet the gap, US is now supplying oil to India, basically the shale oil. And now when PM Modi recently made a visit to US last year during the Howdy Modi event, we have signed certain deals for procuring oil and natural gas. Initially, the major issue with the US was the transportation charges. So thereby, US has now completely resolved the transportation charges, and we are now getting the oil at discounted price. With the same price, we are getting the oil from Iran and Venezuela. Now the bigger questions: why US needs India, and why India is now the largest strategic partner for US. So for this, there is a basic reason, because India today is emerging as a regional power, and it is providing a very stiff competition to China in the subcontinental and in the Indian Ocean region. So thereby both the countries, India and US, they have similar aspirations. First is they want to restrict China's growing economic and military influence. Like China is aggressively increasing its military in the Indian Ocean region, in the South China Sea, and it is encircling India through the policy of string of pearls. So thereby US see India as a major partner that can counter China. For example, we have locust policy through which we can counter China. Now we have recently developed the necklace of diamond policy to counter China's string of pearls policy. So thereby countering China in the subcontinent is the first reason for the stronger ties between both the countries. And second is both the countries have similar goals, like they are facing the threat of Islamic terrorism. So therefore US need India's support to prevent the spread of fundamentalism and jihadist ideology to counter the Islamic terrorism. Similarly, US wants to increase its dominance in the Middle East, basically to contain Iran, because Iran is the biggest enemy of US in the Middle East. So thereby US is assisting the allies like Saudi Arabia, UAE and even Israel to contain Iran. The basic reason for containing Iran is because of the economic reason, because earlier Iran was the major supplier of oil to the major countries, and now by imposing sanctions on Iran, US emerging as the new market for supplying oil to the various country. Now on the other side, India and US have similarities. For example, both the countries are democracies. US is the oldest democracy in the world and India is the largest democracy. So now let us talk about the recent developments. So in the recent time, US have supported India in the international arena. For example, US has supported India's move in the Kashmir issue after India abrogated the Article 370 and bifurcated the state of Jammu and Kashmir into Union territories of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. And when most of the countries like Pakistan, Malaysia and Turkey, they criticized India's action after abrogating Article 370, US and other countries, they supported India by calling it as an internal matter of India. And along with it, US also supported India's move, that is the Citizenship Amendment Bill, the NRC exercise in Assam. Similarly, during the COVID crisis also, both the countries assisted each other. Like India exported huge amount of hydroxychloroquine and US also supplied ventilators to India. And even in the recent times during the Indo-China standoff, US is standing by India. It is supporting India and criticizing China's action in the Galwan Valley and even in the eastern Ladakh, the incidents which are going on. So similarly, in order to further boost ties, last week the Deputy Secretary of US, he hinted the idea of forming a Quad into NATO-like alliance. Like he assisted that the Quad countries, which are US, India, Australia and Japan, they can form an alliance like NATO. So thereby the recent actions clearly shows that we are now completely aligned towards the US-led countries. For example, we are now moved closer to US allies, like we share very good relations with Saudi Arabia, UAE, Israel. So that is a clear indication to the countries like Russia and Pakistan, that is the support that India got from these major countries. So thereby the relations between India and US will continue to grow stronger irrespective of the ruling government in both the countries. But on the other side, I personally feel is that like at the one side, although we are making good relations with the US, but India needs to maintain its balanced relations with both the countries, that is the US and Russia, because we cannot afford to lose Russia. Although in the recent times, because of the closeness of India's with the US, Russia has completely moved towards China, but we cannot completely ignore Russia. So thereby it is very important to maintain good relations with the US, but also we need to devise a strategy so that we can balance the ties within other countries like Russia also, which always happens to be the major supporter of India in the international forums. So friends, this is all about Indo-US relations, and I have given my dedicated efforts for making this video, and I hope you like this intro and this have benefited you or will benefit you in the future if you are having your SSB or even written examination or any other examination. So this is all about today's video, and I hope you have gained something new today. So till then, keep supporting, keep preparing and clear your interview very soon. So best of luck for your upcoming interview. So this is all about today's video. Thank you and God bless you all.